And we're live. Hello, everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl, Sighren, right here on the Sighren Speak Show. Hello. As promised, I told you guys I will go ahead and go live, and we're just going to discuss, some of the topics that you guys have mentioned in the comment section that you want to talk about. So let's go ahead and talk about it, okay? One of the main topics that you guys wanted to discuss was weight loss, okay? I guess y'all trying to bring your sexy back. Yes. It is summertime. It's about to be fall. I'm actually in the process of changing my decor, So I kind of get it, but once it gets cold, you're going to want them pounds back. When it gets cold, you're going to want to be nice and chunky, okay? Trust me. But yeah, let me go ahead and log in. Thank you guys to everyone who come in and give this video a big old fat thumbs up. I really, truly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you who share. And thank you for all of your comments inside of this live. I really, truly appreciate it, y'all. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to jump right into the topic, you guys. Let me see, did I put everything up? We're going to jump right into the topic. We want to talk about weight loss. You guys want to discuss what it is that you can do to, get some of those pounds down. How many pounds are you guys trying to lose? Make sure y'all put in the comments section, like, are you trying to lose a couple pounds, or are you trying to really reinvent yourself? Because that's different. If you are trying to lose weight for like an event or something, that's when I would recommend weight loss. But you guys know, outside of just going to an event, like if you have a wedding or something, I would definitely recommend that, you guys look to more long-term, okay, things that you can do to sustain the weight, okay? Because we don't want to just lose weight and gain it back. That is the most depressing thing for a woman to go through all of that to lose weight. And then at the end of that, it's like 2 seconds later, you gain everything back with one meal. Okay. Trust me, I know what that feels like. Okay. I used to do that back in the day. Back in the 90s, I did all the fasts. I did Herbalife. How many of y'all did Herbalife? Did anybody ever do Herbalife? Y'all, I did Herbalife, honey. Let me tell you something. I'm so throwback. I did Trim Spa, baby. Listen, when I say I have done it all, I have done it all, you guys, okay? I did the Phenermine, the Fen is what they called it also. I did the Adipex. I took all of the diet pills, you guys, and I did get down. I would lose the weight within about a month or two, honey. Listen, your girl was barely noticeable, okay? I was very small. I was very slim, but what would happen is that weight would come back because I would take all of those diet pills and I would lose the weight. But as soon as I stopped taking them and I start eating again, it's like the weight came back double, okay? And then that would cause a lot of depression. That would cause a lot of just, oh my God, it took me 2 months to get this weight off, but it took me 2 days to double it. You know what I'm saying? And put it back on. So we don't want to experience that. So if you guys want, like I say, weight loss hacks that you can do if you have an event, that you're going to, or something that, you're getting ready to do that you need to drop a few pounds real quick, then that's when you want to look into more of the diet fads, okay? Now, this day and age, honestly, with the way our body is and the foods that we eat, I personally don't recommend diet pills, okay? I really, truly don't, not to lose weight, because unfortunately, we don't look at the side effects. And unfortunately, these diet pills tend to have a lot of side effects. They can dehydrate the organs, okay, allegedly, right? So we would definitely have to do a lot of research in regards to the diet pills. Back in the day, they used to have a Chinese mahog tea. You guys, I even did that, honey. And it had a Chinese mahog. I think that's what it's called. That was in there. Ooh, listen. I drink that tea Monday, honey. By Friday, you wouldn't know who the hell I was. So, I remember the things that seemed to be really good back in the day, honey, they don't have it anymore. And they watered it down, because I remember when I got back on Herbalife, honey, it sucked. Okay. So I really wouldn't recommend taking any diet pills. Like I said, one for, you want to definitely protect your organs whenever you're choosing to lose weight. Okay. You definitely want to protect your organs. If we don't want to lose weight at the cost of our, our life. All right. So definitely you want to try to incorporate some ways. I would say, of course, we want to work out, but listen, y'all. Working out is not about doing any strenuous exercise. One thing I'm getting into is Pilates. I feel like a light Pilates, not a heavy one until you can get to that heavy, but I feel like a nice light Pilates would be very good. And I feel like it can help you to sustain results in the longevity department. Okay. Definitely you want to move your body. You want to get up, you want to walk. Okay. When you get to grocery stores, when you go to Target, Walmart, Costco, wherever you're going, stop parking close to the store. Okay, you want to park kind of far away from the store because you want to get your steps in. Perhaps you want to take a comfortable pair of sneakers. So maybe one day you'll be on your way home from work or on your way home from somewhere, and then you like, you know what? Let me just pull over and let me just get some steps out the way real quick. Okay, keep you a bag with some sneakers, some socks, your headphones, a bottled water, have your emergency walk bag, okay? Because sometimes I find myself doing it. I'll just like pull over, honey. I don't care what I got on. I throw on my sneakers, my socks, get my bottled water, honey, got my headphones on, and I just get them steps out the way right then and there, okay? For those of you who don't have energy, maybe you like, I would love to work out, but I just don't have the energy. My body feels extremely tired. I would recommend that you take B12. However, you have two different types of B12. You have a natural B12, and then you have the man-made version. I would have to say 90% of the B12 that we get on the shelf, okay, over the counter, is a man-made version. However, you can find the original version of B12 mixed in there somewhere, but you have to know what you're looking for, okay? The man-made version of B12 is the one that gives us the heart. It makes our heart beat a lot faster. It gives you that racing heart. So remember, you used to take those diet pills or those energy drinks, and it kind of makes you jittery and stuff like that. That is because it's not a natural source. It is forcing your body to, have energy, but not in a natural way. So when you are shopping for B12 for energy, you want to look for B12 in its natural source, and it starts with the word methyl, Methyl. So it's like methylcobalamin or something like that. I don't know the exact word, but it's methyl. The other one that is man-made is just like coba something. So you will see it starts with a C. So you definitely want to make sure that when you're taking a B12, you guys, you want to take it in its natural source. When you take natural B12 in the methyl form, you don't get no racing heart rate. You won't even know that you took it. All you gonna know is, damn, I got all my steps out the way. I worked out. I went and did this. I did that. I went by the post office. I did everything I had to do today because the energy is very natural. And what happens is it keeps you thinking. It keeps your mind, okay, moving along with your body and your ability to move your body. So you definitely want to try very natural sources, you guys, to lose weight when it comes to taking B12 or any type of supplement. You also want to know when to take your supplement. You want to take your B12 first thing in the morning, okay, when the sun rises. Another thing about losing weight, you guys, is you got to be up, at the right time, and you got to know when to shut it down, okay? Meaning when you are going on a weight loss journey, okay, you definitely want to make sure that you are up with the sunrise, okay? All of that sleeping in, absolutely not. We want soon as that sunrise to ignite your energy, to ignite what it is that, you are going to do. All right. So you definitely want to make sure that you change your sleeping schedule to wake up a lot early. You want to wake up maybe about 6:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. You want to beat that sunrise. You want to get up. OK, you want to brush your teeth, wash your face. You want to be ready. Right. Regardless of what it is you have to do, if you have to go to work or maybe you're just planning on doing something for the day. All right. So you want to make sure that you are doing that as well. Changing your sleeping schedule. You want to be up before the sun rise, you guys. This is when we're in tune with nature, because the sun is going to give you what you need to support what it is that your thoughts are. Okay. So when we lay in the bed throughout the day and, we all laggy and all of that stuff, you'll notice you don't get things done and things feel a little slow and things get behind. So you want to stay ahead of the ball, and you're going to have to do this for as long as you're on your weight loss journey. Now, remember, this is just to lose some pounds. Okay. I say a maximum of like 10 pounds. Okay. We're not making this a lifestyle. This is just to lose about 10 pounds. And this is about allowing nature, okay, to assist you. All right. Shout out to y'all. Like I said, thank you to everyone who come in and give this video a big old fat thumbs up. Hey to everybody. Let me see who's up in the building. Hey, Oh, child, you know what? Chicla Conte. What time did this live start? This live started, I don't know, y'all, how long it say I've been in here? Probably about 5:30. So it just started. Okay, so y'all, I was a little late. Okay, so excusez-moi. I was a little late, y'all. I got out of a consultation kind of late, so, and then I had to, get ready and all of that stuff. So y'all, please excuse them while we did start at 5:30. So y'all fresh for just getting in here. We literally just started, okay? And today we're talking about the topic that you guys requested, which was about weight loss, okay? Weight loss. We're also going to be, what else you wanted to know? Disease of certain foods and medications, okay? Y'all want to know about taking the right type of vitamins? Okay, y'all want to know a lot. Foods to eat for weight loss. Let's get into it, right? All right. Hey to everyone. Hey to Love More. Hey, Faye. Hey, y'all. Hey to everyone who's tuned in. Okay. So we're talking about weight loss. We're not talking about lifestyle changes, you guys. We're talking about how to get a couple pounds off, maybe around 10 pounds or less that you want to get off. Okay. And you keep doing this until you get those 10 pounds off, because what we want to do is break, those old cycles that has been keeping us stuck. All right. So, we're talking about getting up. You want to change your sleeping routine. This is going to be very important. You need to be up before the sun rise. Okay. When the sun rises, it is going to support. When the sun comes up, you guys, and it pokes out, the minute we get that sunrise, it's a reason they call it a sunrise. There's very potent energy. Okay. So you want to be up when that sun rises so that you can get that zhush of natural energy that's going to definitely help you. If you have the ability to go outside, okay, let's say you want to get an early morning walk, you guys, you want to catch the sun between sunrise and about 11 a.m. Whatever it is your time, whatever time zone you're in. Sunrise to 11 a.m. If you want to go outside and meditate or get your walk in, or if you just want to get your little vitamin D, honey, and sit out there and soak it all in, okay? Regardless of what it is that you're doing, whether you're walking or just getting your vitamin D or meditating, you want to get out, okay? You really do want to get out. However, you want to get out between sunrise and 11 a.m. That is when you're going to get the most juiciest vitamin D from the sun. Okay. And between 12 a.m. and about 3:30 p.m., you don't want to be out there walking in the sun. That is the most toxic version, allegedly. That is the most toxic version of the sun. The rays that we get when that sun sits in the center is very high. Okay, so it can do a little more damage. That's when you can get sunburned. If you ever notice when you go on vacation or you go outside and you're out there in the wrong hours, those strong hours where that sun is right in the center and is beaming, okay? It's a very dangerous sun for us to be in. It's not the best sun for us to get out there and go walk in, okay? So between 12 p.m. and about 3:30 p.m., you guys, I would say mainly to about 4. So if you want to get an evening walk, I would say the earliest would be 4 p.m. until sunset. Okay, so the hours you want to walk, you guys, these are very critical hours because we're talking about getting the power of the sun to support us. And this is whether you're doing weight loss or this is whether you're doing just general. Okay, this is a lifestyle change for you. Maybe you're like, okay, I want to get out 5 or 6 days a week and I want to get my walk on. These are the most critical times for you to get out there and get that walk on. And the energy and the rays from that sun during those hours right there are going to be the best rays for you to get. It's going to be the best vitamin D for you to get. Okay. You say, yes, I'm here to better myself. I'm 45 and things not working like in my 30s. Ooh, Listen, I don't know. I think because now we have to look at 2 different times. We have before COVID and we have after COVID. I don't think nobody is working the same after COVID. Something happened in 2020 that I feel like just threw everybody off. Okay, I ain't even gonna lie. Your girl used to be Gym Bay. I used to be able to go to the gym. I used to be able to go to all of my classes. I used to be able to do cycling classes. Listen. Let me try to go sit on a bike to cycle right now. Let me try to do a whole cycling. And it's like it just after 2020, y'all, after, my husband and I, we ended up catching COVID. Okay. And we had it for like 6 weeks, almost 7 weeks, y'all. It kicked up. Right. Things just haven't been the same. You know how you couldn't breathe and all of that stuff. I went through all of that. I couldn't breathe for like about a year and a half after I got it. It took me, I remember the day I woke up and I was like, whew. Because it's like you couldn't really take a deep breath in when you had it, and it took me a long time to be able to breathe normally again. So yeah, when I got that back, I was very grateful. Okay. But so yes, what we want to do, you guys, is we have to reprogram ourselves. It's like we have to re-raise ourselves. We have to go back to before COVID. I don't care what age you are right now. There are 20-something-year-olds that I counsel that tell me they don't have the energy. I'm like, dang, y'all like giving off 50, y'all giving off 40 and they 27 and 28 and 29. And I'm like, what? And they don't have the energy. They don't have the drive. They don't have the motivation as well. So I don't think it has anything to do with age. I think it has a lot to do with, one, like I said, the foods from our food chain, the water from our water chain, okay, the air from our air chain. I think it's the environment that we're in. Remember, they're placing up a lot of these data centers, you guys, and especially us as women. Women especially are taking it very, very, very hard and having to deal with a lot of complications, you guys. Unfortunately, it may be affecting our health. That's why we have to turn more to nature. Okay, meaning you have to be able to get out there in the sun. Okay, you really need to capture those hours of the sun. If you can get the sunset sun or the sunrise sun, you definitely want to make sure that you're able to absorb the vitamin D. Now, when it comes to women, okay, allegedly, I'm no doctor. This is no medical advice that I'm giving y'all. We are taking all of this for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so when it comes to vitamin D, you guys, the best vitamin D we can get is from the sun. When I say you want the most natural source of vitamin D, there are different versions of vitamin D. From what I have researched, vitamin D3 is the best one for us, okay, for us to take. Now, when you go to your doctor, you definitely want to ask your doctors questions about which version of vitamin D, okay, because when they say, oh, you can get it, it's over the counter, right? Or they will prescribe you a vitamin D pill, but they're not telling you the type of vitamin D that they're giving you. So according to your blood, okay, your blood work, you guys, that will determine what type of vitamin D that you should be taking. A lot of times, unfortunately, doctors are having a human experience just like us. They make mistakes just like us. They may not do the full research. They may just write you a prescription. It is your responsibility to know what's going on with your blood, what your numbers are looking like. Okay, you need to know your blood panel because every time they run your blood, all of that is recorded. Okay, even when you go to the emergency room, they send you home with that emergency room paperwork. It shows you all your numbers. When they run your blood in the emergency room and they send you home with that little pamphlet or that little folder with your paperwork in it, it shows you all of your numbers. What you need to do is take that emergency room paperwork, okay? Look at all your numbers from when they ran your blood. You need to get on Google and see normal versus abnormal, high versus low. What should my blood panel, what should these numbers be? And you look at your emergency room paperwork and it's going to tell you where you are. And that's when you know you need to work on either vitamin D or you need B12 or you need iron. You know what I'm saying? So you are going to have to, unfortunately, become a doctor as well. Okay, and we're talking about a medical doctor, seriously, not like what we do at home and stuff like that. Like you're going to have to know your numbers. You're going to have to get to know your body. You know how you got some people like mechanics, they like, I know that car, they know everything about it. That's how you're going to have to become. Okay. Now, when it comes to us trying to lose weight, sometimes we can take supplements that we don't need to take. Okay. Some of you can be taking these energy drinks. Listen, go to Amazon.com, order you some B12. Okay. It starts with the word methyl. If you get B12 and it says cobalamin, that's not the one you want. That is a man-made version. It's created in the lab and it's going to give you the shakes and it's going to make your heart race. You want to take the natural B12 that starts with the methyl. That is the one that is in your body naturally. So your body is going to receive it and your body is going to process it. It will not have you running all over the place. Absolutely not. okay? Because your body naturally has B12, but a lot of our B12 is being absorbed or eaten by the bacteria in our gut. So, with all of those bacteria, that E. coli, that H. pylori, all of that inside of the gut, with us having these gut issues, those parasites are feeding off of your natural nutrients, okay? So this is why we're feeling a lot more tired than we normally do. This is why we're not having the energy to get up and do the things. We're not feeling inspired or motivated because we have a lot of toxins and parasites and things that are going on inside of the body. And when I tell you, you need to dress yourself from the inside out. Okay, you need to address yourself from the inside out, putting on clothes, makeup, wigs, jewelry, accessories, all that. Listen, I don't care about none of that. I want to see your gut. I want to see your numbers. That's how you're going to impress me. Show me your numbers from your lab work. Okay, let me see what's going on inside of your stomach. Let me see your colon. That's how you're going to impress me, okay? Because what's going on the inside is going to definitely show on the outside, okay? So we definitely want to show up as our best, okay, version of ourselves, and that is to go within and to address any issues. If you know you are having any issues, you guys, and you want to lose weight, you definitely want to address your medical issues. You want to go to your doctor if you're starting to swell, okay? Especially those of you who may have blood issues, meaning circulation issues. If you find yourself when you go for your walks, your legs start to itch, that means you're having circulation issues, okay? There's something going on where that blood is not circulating properly, and what you need to do is move more, okay? Another way you can tell if you're having circulation issues, if you have cellulite, okay? If you got a lot of cellulite or if you got a little bit of cellulite, okay? Then you need to address that as well. It means you need to get up and you need to move a little bit more, okay? So we definitely want to make sure that we are addressing everything from the inside out. You want to make sure that before you start any workout or any weight loss, regime, you want to make sure the first part of it is go get your blood work done, because you don't need to be taking any supplements for things that you don't need. A lot of us, we see, a lot of influencers, or we see these content creators and they're like, oh, I'm getting my health together and I'm taking this pill and I'm taking this vitamin and I'm taking all of this. Okay, you may not need all of that. Sometimes you may be taking a vitamin that you really, truly don't need. And especially if you're not taking that vitamin in its natural source. Okay, when you take these vitamins and supplements, your body is probably going to get about 3 to 10% of that pill. Okay, about 3 to 10%. And when your body gets that 3 to 10% that it's going to absorb, 9 times out of 10, there's a parasite or there's some type of E. coli and they're waiting to take that. So you really don't get that. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to address any type of parasites, you guys, that may be on the inside. You may want to consider doing a parasite detox or a parasite cleanse. Now, let me tell you something about parasites, and this is how you lose weight, because a lot of us, we're not just eating for ourselves. It's like we're carrying around little babies and they're called parasites. So we're eating for us and we're eating for them, which is why we tend to have a lot of cravings for sweet. We tend to eat a lot of heavy carbs and starches and things of that nature, a lot of bread. We want to drink soda. We may consume alcohol. All of these bad habits are because we're not just feeding for us. We're not just eating for us. 99% of us have parasites living within us that are hosting. We're like hosting, for them. So they're feeding off of all of our real nutrients and they're leaving the sugars for us. Some of them eat the sugars too. Okay, that's why they want you to crave a lot of sugars. You may, especially when your cycle comes on, you may find yourself craving sweets and chocolate or junk food and things of that nature. You're going to have to resist that. You're going to have to give yourself about 3 menstrual cycles back to back to say, you know what? No snacks during this menstrual cycle. Okay, you're going to have to try to resist the urge. This is how you're going to have to fight these parasites that may reside within you, you guys. They are the smartest creatures I have ever dealt with, okay? They smarter than them damn flying roaches y'all heard me talk about on the vlog, okay? These parasites are smart. They know your thoughts. They are living within your body. They know when you're going to start to do things to get rid of them. They know. This is why when you start a diet, what's the first thing you do? You start craving things that you really don't want during this diet, because that's them. That's how you know they're in your body. Like, oh, you need to eat. You need to eat. Oh, just go get this or just go get that. They're constantly getting in your thoughts and trying to make you think of food. And unfortunately, we have parasites in us that are coming from nanoparticles. We have nanoparticles, which means these are kind of like some oh God, I don't want to say AI, but technology is what I want to say. Technology that we breathe in through the air. And, unfortunately, they're the ones who can, when you on a diet and all the food come up in your damn news feed, when you're trying to cut back on certain things and you start seeing all those commercials and stuff and all of those things, yes, they are able to manipulate your energy, your environment and stuff like that. So this, like I say, y'all, we're fighting against a lot, okay? We always know, God said we wrestle not with flesh and blood, okay? But the principles, okay? And all of the other BS that goes on out here, okay? So we definitely want to make sure that before we start like a successful diet thing, you want to address like parasites, okay? Before you do a parasitic detox, okay, you definitely want to make sure that you address your metals, okay? You want to do a metal cleanse first. Why do you want to do a metal cleanse? Because we have so many metals that we take in with the food. Okay, if your food is cooked in certain pots and stuff, as they're cooking that food, all of the metals, the aluminum, when we put that chicken in the oven and we cover it up with the aluminum, all of those metals are also getting inside of our food. Okay, and the metals are what is going to ground those parasites inside of us. Right? So it's what holds them still. It's like what they got to stay in there. So if you have a lot of heavy metals, especially from drinking your bottled waters or drinking water, we have, metals all inside of the water. These parasites are going to be able to stay inside of you and they're going to be able to hold on to you. So what they're going to do is when they know you're getting ready to go on a diet or when they know you're getting ready to do a parasite cleanse, they're going to start to lay eggs inside of you. They will start to pee inside of you and they will poop inside of you. Yes. Okay. All of this stuff is what goes on. And all the doctors are telling you is, oh, okay, you have H. pylori. Okay. What does that mean, doc? Let's get to the root or to the tutor of it all. What does that mean? Or you have some type of, oh God, what is the other stomach issues that y'all know all the stomach issues that they tell you? I think celiac, and then it's another one that I wrote down. All of these different type of diseases, gastritis and all of that stuff. What's happening? What is happening? We need to get to the root of what is happening, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of these parasites are coming in through our food. When we go get our lettuce, it's not cleaned. This is where they live. When we eat our meats, you need to eat your meats cooked all the way. When you're eating your meats, you guys, you're taking in parasites, okay, from that food, or a parasite may have laid eggs on top of that food. So it's very important for you to take the time to learn ways to clean your food prior to cooking it, okay? Eating out. Y'all know I love to go out and I love to have a good old plate of food. But I have limited myself. Bay and I, we used to go out about 7 days a week. Yes, we did. Okay. But now we only limit it to like weekends because going out to eat, you guys, you don't know how they clean their food. I could show y'all a video of Popeye's chicken. Literally, you know how when you have the chicken and it ain't clean, they don't clean that chicken. They take it from that bloody, murky water. Okay. And then they dip it in the flour and then they fry it like that. Okay. All the fatty stuff, all the blood, y'all, they just pick it up out of the bloody box water, drop it in the flour, and then they fry the chicken and serve it to you. Hopefully they fry it at a temperature to where they cook it all the way through, okay? And then get rid of, a lot of the parasites and stuff like that. But the fact that they don't rinse that chicken off, they don't clean that chicken at all, you guys. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, like they don't ever have to worry about me eating there again. And there are other restaurants that do that as well. They don't clean the chicken, okay? They just fry it and give it to you. So eating out, you guys, when you start going on a weight loss journey, you want to start to cook your own food as often as you possibly can. Okay. You want to start to, prep your food. Maybe you want to do a meal prep, things of that nature. It'll be good to record it. Send us some footage. We want to see what y'all doing and what y'all eating over there. So you may want to do like a meal prep, you guys. Eating at home is a great way for you to lose weight because when you cook at home, you guys, you're going to use better products. A lot of the grease that they fry our foods in when we go out to eat in this fast food is the most horrible grease that you can use in life. Okay, so they're not using the best things, the best product. They're probably using MSG. Okay, we already seen KFC, Chick-fil-A, all of these restaurants. They have all of these ingredients inside of their seasoning, inside of their grease, that they use, you guys. So of course you're getting a lot of cholesterol and things of that nature. So it will be best for you to, cook your own food and be prepared to cook your own food. If you're going to do this for 2-3 months, you need to be prepared to cook your own food. Okay. Let me see if you guys have any questions, what it is you guys are saying. Y'all, we're talking about losing weight. We're talking about getting a couple of pounds off, honey. And once you do it this way, you will find yourself as you're losing weight. This is what I've, learned from a lot of people that I have worked with, is when they do it this way, they tend to kind of keep the weight off because they start to eventually turn a lot of this into lifestyle habits. Okay. Because once you start seeing that weight loss come off, that's typically your motivation. And you don't want to do anything, outside of that to, bring those pounds back on. Okay. So we definitely want to make sure that we start cooking at home. You want to take the right supplements. I would definitely recommend you stay away from energy drinks. We don't want weight loss to come at the cost of our heart. Okay. We do not want that. I literally saw somebody pass on at the gym, and that was the most uncomfortable thing that I had to see that day. So you want to leave those energy drinks alone, you guys. I'm definitely, I had to learn that myself. The energy drinks contain the vitamin B12, but it contains a man-made version of B12. I do believe that I don't know if it was Alani, I think that one does contain methyl. Okay. B12, methyl, coba something, y'all. I don't know how to say the whole word right now because I can't remember, but it starts with methyl. It's only two. It's one coba and then methyl. Okay. So I do believe that one contained methyl. I'm not sure. I believe I did see an energy drink that did contain a natural source of B12. And I did notice when I was drinking that, I didn't have that jittery, you know what I'm saying, feeling from drinking it. So if you do find an energy drink, make sure you find one that does contain a natural B12. And also you want to find one that contains maybe coloring from fruits, okay, and not the coloring from food coloring and other dyes and things of that nature, okay? You say no chocolate. Oh, child, yeah, you're going to have to say no chocolate. No, I know how hard that is, okay? It is definitely a struggle, but you got to understand, you're not feeding yourself. You're feeding the parasites that live inside of you. That's who crave chocolate. That's who want chocolate all the time. Okay. And they're like, come on, give us more, give us more. That's all they do is bang on your stuff. Give us more, give us more. Keep us living inside of you. Okay. Keep us alive, right? They're living off of your body. So they're kind of squatting inside of you. Right. So we definitely want to make sure that we're able to pass those out. We may not be able to get rid of all of them, but the majority of them that you do get rid of, you guys, the better you will see that you will feel and the more weight you'll start to lose. OK. Should we eat meals at certain times of the day? That is a very good question. OK, I would definitely recommend no eating after sunset. OK, that is very critical. And I'm honestly going to say you guys should get to a point where you make that a lifestyle change. Okay. Why do we not want to eat after the sunset? Our body's mechanics. Okay. And this is Sighren speaking on the Sighren Speak show. We got to do that for YouTube. Okay. This is just Sighren speaking on the Sighren Speak show. Okay. What I am saying is just from my research and what it is that I have noticed on my weight loss and my lifestyle journey. Okay. Our body works like a machine. Okay. So the sun energy is what supports all of our actions. Okay. So it's kind of like the gremlins, like, you can't feed them after midnight because other things start to happen. It's kind of like that. Okay. When we eat after the sun sets, what happens is our organs are now going into it's like their time to work. Okay. So during those night hours, remember, we go to sleep during the night. So what happens is your organs start to reset themselves every night. Okay. And when we eat food, our body is saying, okay, I can't really sleep or I can't really, reset the liver and the kidneys because I have to process the food that she just ate 30 minutes ago. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to eat at a time that once our body shuts down, okay, because the body is going to close the door and say, okay, it's time for us to reset the organs. Your organs are supposed to honestly detox and reset themselves every night, you guys. That is a very critical time. Right? And if we're too busy eating at night, if we're up and we're eating and we're drinking at night, we already not allowing our body to do what it needs to do. So your body is going to say, hey, I can't detox the liver today because we got to process all this food she just ate, all this drink she just took in. Okay. So then what happens? It gets backed up and backed up and backed up. So the more you have a lifestyle of where you eat late at night and you're eating heavy foods and things of that nature, your body is like, oh my God, it's working overtime. This is when we tend to get exhausted. And this is when we tend to hold on to a lot of weight because your body can't process it. It's like, oh Lord, the liver is getting backed up. So we can't even process the food that she just ate. Just store it over there. And this is where we get love handles. Okay. This is where we get all them rolls. This is when we start to get the double chin and all of that stuff because the body is like constantly working and you're not working with the body. You're working against the body and you're putting it in overdrive. So I would definitely recommend that you guys get a healthy schedule of eating food. And I would say from sunrise to sunset will be a typical time for you to eat food because the sun is what processes our metabolism and helps our metabolism to go. The moon energy or the night energy is what processes and resets